What's up everyone, my name is Soma Paul. Welcome back to the channel. For today's exciting episode, I'm going to show you how easy it is to draw Anya Forger in manga style from Hit Manga / anime series Spy X Family. So let's go. So Anya is a very cute girl that we are going to try to recreate today. So as always with my short tutorial, I will always start with shapes. It could be any kind of shape, it doesn't really matter. It could be a square, rectangle, as long as it fits the original character design. So what I'm actually doing right now is just to map out the shape of her body, her hair, and the two bun type of things on her head itself. So I'm just roughly mapping it out, as you can see from here. You do not have to be exactly accurate. So I hope that you have a pen and paper with you right now so that you are able to draw together with me. But as per what we are seeing right now is, this is the base character that we are going to design based off. So once I have the rough design or the rough so-called primitive shapes or shapes that I'm actually looking for, I will actually go ahead and start to put another layer, and then I will just give it a very rough look to fine-tune the characters itself. You do not need to be very rough, and it helps to have a reference picture on hand so they are able to see. I mean, it's always good to be able to find out images, all this and that. But I mean, for the sake of this video, I will not be showing any other pictures beside just now the earlier starting one. But you're able to Google it, anytime. But if you're actually following with what I'm actually doing right now, you're able to pause the video and then just trace out from the shape that I'm actually doing. It's fine also. It doesn't matter, because this one is basically just a tutorial to teach you, how to actually draw a character. And there's a lot of different stuff on different mangakas and different artists. So right now we are trying to recreate this image itself, doing some adjustment. And one thing when you're doing digital drawing is you have a lot of control over the angles. So as you can see from my video, right, most of the time I'll be adjusting this and that, or just based on the feeling on how big or how wide the character I want to be, and then slowly I'll refine from there. It's very common practice, to have a few layers of a different type of color image or concept draft, you can call it, to get the perspective right. And then once you have it, you just you can tune and you have to overlay on top of one another to get the image right. So as you can see from here right now, I'm just planning out the layer and also the design, the fold on her uniform that she have inside the manga series itself. This is not the final look because I'll still further refine it, but I do not want to drag this video too long, because I try to keep my videos for this kind of so-called like art tutorial, right, or try to keep it below 20 minutes, because if you are looking at long videos itself, right, you need something that is just punchy and you're able to pick up right away. So from this series, right, I will be moving forward and be creating a lot more of other characters. But concurrently right now, I'm just picking something that is more latest, for internet cloud. But basically, it's just something easy for everyone to follow, everyone to see. So right now, I'm just marking out the uniform, which I will need to put it in a darker tone later on, and just to get the rough idea right. And I will just further adjust it along the way. Because when you are doing line arts, right, you will need to have a rough idea of how your proportion is. So right now, I actually clean out the line art and I'm able to go into ink. So this final line art is basically it's just the final, the more like the how do I say, the blueprint that you are going to create for this character. So the back layers will act as a guide right now, which is very refined, not say very refined, which is more or less refined to what the character I want it to look like. and I just put in another layer and then start to ink it. It's a very fast thing at this stage right now because you have most of the character design all done. You are able to use this step to practically any kind of other characters, and especially for Anya, you know, such a cute little girl. You are able to just spend maybe 10-15 minutes on your tablet or on your pen monitor or your pen tablet to actually draw this character simply very easily. And talking about this, just to sneak peek on my next upcoming video, it will be Anya also, but I will be coloring it. So I'll be giving it color. So if you wanted to know more about how I color her up, please do like, subscribe my video, and click on the notification bell so you will not miss out on that video, which is coming maybe in another day or two. Because my studio work concurrently right now is quite busy, especially with a few upcoming projects, and just recently finished one of the very important art installation that my studio is running. But concurrently right now, back to topic, I do not want to bore you all with my day-to-day work itself. But I'll be releasing another video real soon on how I color Anya, and you're able to follow along also, which you are able to use exactly the same artwork as what I'm actually doing right now to get it correctly done. So right now basically is more or less the head itself is more or less done. I will just go more in depth on the uniform at this stage right now. So her uniform, because in the manga itself, her uniform mainly is black with gold trim, or dark brown and gold trim. But in the manga itself, it's all black and white. So basically right now, all you see the folds I'm actually putting in, right? It will not be too prominent. But because this video is designed to be split among two portions itself, I choose to keep the fold because it will be a lot easier, especially later on when I'm actually putting colors onto the character itself. So just making sure all the proportion is correct, and how the foldings and the folds of her costume is based off the reference pic itself. I will just do some trick on my own, putting it in, because I do not want to change the character too much. That at the end of the day, nobody knows that it's Anya. One thing for starting artists, right, who actually wanted to create your own characters, studying how manga artists drew their art is very important. Because you could be studying in traditional arts itself, traditional art painting, a lot of things is very minute, especially when it comes to proportion, and you're talking about like how natural a body can be positioned. And then some position is awkward, especially when you're talking about like expressive painting, all this and that. A lot of things that actually put you in a very unique and artistic difference position where you need to make a choice. So from here, we are just doing a very, very simple Anya, and I actually removed the so-called sketch layer, and then just moving it directly into the line art itself. So from here right now, we are just going to add some background elements, and after I will start to like color I'll just started to add the black onto the correct portion itself. Some cleaning up here and there to see how I wanted her to look like. And one like more or less is done, I will just put all this rounded globe or sphere behind her just as a background element. The reason why I put it because I remember one of the mangas cover art is she's sitting on this kind of designer stool where there's a lot of this kind of like macaroons stuck at the back as a seat. So I just use that as inspiration to do all this background design for her. You can choose to go with this design, or you can choose not to add anything, it's fine also. The important thing is I'm putting this in so that it will make it more interesting at the end of the day on the next video itself. But at this stage right now is I'm just only putting it in, adding some of the school uniform details, and also clean up the line out a little bit more. Once those are all fully cleaned up, I'll be able to add in the ink itself to finish off this black and white character painting. Is it called painting? Okay, maybe an art piece or maybe a fan art, you know. Because at the end of the day, this is just something that you can easily draw out, you know, in the next maybe 10 to 15 minutes time with some practices. But of course, throughout this video, please feel free to pause it and just draw along or trace it if you're using an iPad. It's fine. Important thing is to get your muscle memory correct. You know, getting the feel of how you can draw the characters itself. Like the previous time when I did the Son Goku, this is Anya. And if you wanted to see more like your, you know, her mom, you please leave your comments in the comment section. And I know that that you guys wanted this series to continue. I'll be producing more videos. So right now we are going to ink it the manga way. It's very simple, especially when you're using Clip Studio Paint. You have this thing that you are able to add manga tones. Tones are something which you can use it to do different type of shading without needing to physically go inside and draw it line by line. I mean, traditional manga, a lot of manga artists and their assistant will use tone paper to add all these effects. So you remember some earlier when I told you regarding about the folds on the clothing itself, I actually make it easier for me to produce the next colored video of Anya. That's why I decided to leave the fold in. But if I'm actually drawing this out as a black and white manga piece itself, I will not be doing all the folds. I'll have a rough shape there, then I'm able to fill up with black ink so that it's able to call it complete. You get my point? So right now I'm just filling it up, making sure that everything's look right. I paint up the shoes. And once that is done, I'm able to move on to other things. So concurrently right now you see that the art piece itself is roughly around maybe 80% complete at this stage. So I'm just adding some details which is in for this piece itself. Some natural shadows. It's actually quite easy to achieve all this, especially when you're starting off. You have a very nice grasp of how you wanted to do the characters itself. You can just follow and see how the artists do it. And I'm sure on YouTube there's other artists or other illustrator who's actually teaching all this. But my main goal is I'm not going to dive into too in-depth because I wanted people to just draw along or follow along. So I'm not going to get into anything more technical. I just want everybody to enjoy, sitting in front of the TV or in front of the computer and just pick up a pen and paper and just draw. Or if you have an iPad or you have a pen tablet itself, you get something like a Wacom Intuos, a pen tablet. You're able to follow along. It's actually not that hard. So still remember I talked about tones. So right now I'm actually putting up the tones. I'm just selecting what I wanted to see and just drag and it just fill up the portion which I highlighted. It's not that hard, it's just only picking up the design and putting it on. Pick up something that is unique. So remember, if you like my video, just remember to like, subscribe and ring the notification bell so you will not miss out any of my upcoming future video. And I hope that you look forward to the part 2. Can I call it part 2? It's still Anya Forger, but it will be in colored version. So I shall leave you here with the music and the end of the video. Thank you so much for spending your time with me over here in YouTube, and I hope to see you all again soon. So my Paul out.